Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, this is Josh, and here we have another game from the public test realm. This one is being played on 1v1 test map 1, which I have deemed Lost Temple 2 because basically it's identical to Lost Temple, except they removed these cliffs. They turned the islands into non-islands. They're actually accessible from two sides by destructible rocks, and the middle is totally changed. There are no longer two Xel'Naga towers, there's just one, and it's here in the middle of the map. Should be interesting since we do have cross positions here between RedAlert, this orange Terran down here on the bottom spawn, and Vequeth, who we've just watched a couple of other games from. He's the purple Protoss up on the top. And actually both of these guys just played against each other for us on Desert Hills. I still need games from Dirt Farm and Dump, but some other people did submit some replays, so maybe I'll get to those as well today. You are deafened and mumble. Oh, these guys are actually playing customs against each other. That makes more sense. How they were able to match up so well. But Vequeth is actually a moderator over at reddit.com/r/StarCraft. Better known as SC Reddit. Hello Redditors, this is Josh. How are you doing today? For anyone who doesn't frequent Reddit, I just gave you the address so you can go check it out. It's actually a very large StarCraft 2 community, second to TeamLiquid.net, of course. Hello TeamLiquid.net, this is Josh. How are you doing? And obviously if you don't post at TeamLiquid.net, you probably don't care too much about StarCraft 2, because everything is at TeamLiquid.net that has to do with StarCraft 2. They have the best resources for tournaments, they have the best resources for community building with replays and strategy discussion and basically discussion about anything StarCraft 2 related. They do fan videos all the time, they do subs of Korean TV shows that have Boxer on them, and it's really amazing. But focus here is not TeamLiquid.net, it is actually Lost Temple 2. And Vequeth going to be doing the very standard Protoss build as we would expect him to do. Saw that 2 games in a row already out of him. RedAlert looks like he's sticking close to home with his supply depots, but all in all still doing the very standard Terran build. Getting a tech lab up on this first barracks. Looks like Marauders and Concussive Shells probably going to be his choice once again. We did just see him do that same thing on Desert Hills. There you can see the reach of the Xel'Naga Tower, covering the entire middle of the map, duh, as you would expect, but players could actually march their armies around the edges here through these visibility blockers if they wanted to remain undetected. Actually, that might not be a bad idea anyway, since you could do some elevator play or some nice sneaky pylon warp-ins, things like that. Warp gate warp-ins, I should say. But so far, nothing crazy happening. Each player's scouting around a little bit. Vequeth did find his opponent, but looks like he may have lost his probe to a Marine or Marauder. No, actually it's now hanging out at the Xel'Naga Tower, I just remembered. RedAlert did get a look at Vequeth's base, and now he's going to start drilling this probe to death. Vequeth, of course, going to protect him by running away. Robotics facility coming up very quickly from Vequeth after just a single gateway. Warp gate tech isn't even done yet, and RedAlert is already on the move with a Marine and a Marauder. Vequeth already came out to the middle with a Stalker, manages to snag a Marine kill, but this Marauder should finish off that Stalker. There he does, and he's just hanging out with his SCV buddy now, trading stories about work in the Terran Dominion. You know, gossiping about Mansk and Nova. But RedAlert is going to be the first one to expand here at his changed natural. A couple of changes here. Obviously this cliff is now gone, like I pointed out a moment ago, but also these Vespene geysers are now both on one side. So this right side geyser can't easily be attacked, even if Vequeth did have siege tanks parked over here or something. It's a lot harder to attack these when they're on the same side, tucked into your main like that. And of course Vequeth's base looks like that as well. He's got both gas on one side and no more cliff. He's got rock access to that island expansion, former island expansion I should say, as well. He is getting a second gateway up now, nothing too exotic. Single observer being made right now. RedAlert just rallying some units up toward the middle of the map. He's working off of just one barracks still, but adding numbers 2 and 3 at the moment. Still working off of one gas too. I like RedAlert's supply depot placement actually, because if Vequeth did manage to get into his mineral line with something sneaky, he could raise all these depots and protect them to some extent. Could actually do a better job, obviously, blocking off these back mineral spots and things, but there's still time for that. Single SCV hanging out outside of Vequeth's natural. There's a scan down to see whatever he has been building recently. RedAlert is actually going to see this robotics bay and a third gateway coming down for Vequeth, so he knows Colossi are in the works. He might want to actually get a tech going towards... whoa, Vequeth dropped a Nexus and then canceled it. He didn't even see the SCV, I don't believe. Interesting. But, what was I saying? Oh, he might want to get that tech up to Vikings quickly since he knows Colossi are an eventuality. But the robotics bay was cancelled, as well as that Nexus. So Vequeth pulling the switcheroo on myself and on RedAlert, dropping now 4 gates instead of 1 gate with Colossi. Vequeth also dropping a pylon down here, always a good move. This actually will allow him to warp in down here and do the very sneaky route down the side and avoid this Xel'Naga Tower placement here that RedAlert's got going on. Observer overhead of these Marauders. Did he see the orbital command? Yes, he did. Worker count should be far in RedAlert's favor. It's actually not. Vequeth at 33 harvesters to RedAlert's 30. Quite interesting there. Army value in favor of Vequeth by quite a lot. Supply is up as well. He's not going to bother being sneaky. He's just going to kill this SCV. Obviously, if there's no one holding the Xel'Naga Tower, there's no reason to be sneaky about it. So he's just going to take it over with his pretty sizable army right now. He's got an Immortal out as well to help wreck things. Did he get a Forge up? We saw in the first 2 games he did like to get that Forge and +1 weapons. I don't see one anywhere though, and it doesn't look like he's going to be expanding there at least. He does have a Warp Prism coming in as well. Might see a 2-prong attack out of old Vequeth. Still don't know if it's Vequeth or Vequeth, but whatever. Warp Prism coming in the back now. RedAlert has not seen this. He has nothing over there on the left side of the map. Quick round of warp-ins for Zealots, probably just going to be rushing the mineral line here, forcing RedAlert to actually respond, pull some units from the back. These supply depots do not go up, so the SCVs need to get the hell out of there. The supply depot is being attacked from the top by a Zealot. All the supply depots being focused down right now. Factory looks like it was waiting to get a turn on the reactor, but RedAlert does bite. He sends a bunch of units back there to deal with those Zealots, so Vequeth pushes in at the front. Guardian Shield going up, always a great thing to do when facing a lot of Marines and Marauders. Cuts the damage by so very much. Bunker goes down. Vequeth has successfully broken in, but RedAlert has pulled a lot of SCVs here to deal with this, and these Zealots are still actually hanging out in RedAlert's main. He's not mining right now, as long as Vequeth is pressing in from the front. This Immortal has 4 kills, this one has 0. Look at this. Since there's no cliff there, RedAlert can actually run off to the side and get a little bit of a benefit there. These 2 Immortals look like they are going to go down, though, to this massive SCVs and Marauders. However, back in his main, he is losing a refinery right now. RedAlert is going to be able to deal with this. Vequeth probably wants to get his War Prism out of there before these Vikings arrive, but it's actually a little bit too late now. Vequeth going to lose all the rest of his army and this War Prism. So good attack there, actually broke the front at the natural, forced RedAlert to be in a little bit of a defensive stance, killed a lot of his harvesters. Vequeth is ahead 35 to 27 now. Army value should be way in RedAlert's favor, and it is. Supply as well on the whole. Nexus going up though for Vequeth as he drops a double Forge right now. Looks like he's going to be going for a lot of upgrades quickly. Going to stick with the 4 Warp Gates and single Robo Facility for Immortals though. Single SCV coming in now to see what's going on. He's going to be zapped and exploded by an Immortal and some sentries. That's right, zapped and exploded. Observer for Vequeth hanging back now, trying to check out the natural of RedAlert once again, see what's going on. He's going to see a lot of Marauders and a couple of Vikings if he does actually get over there. You might think that's the entire force, but actually there's a bunch of Marauders down here as well. I return to serve, says the Immortal as he pops out. You know, if you stare at the Immortal's portrait long enough, there is actually a goldfish that swims around in his face there. Actually, you might have to click on him a bunch of times, I don't remember. I'll just leave it idle there while we look around the map at other things. 4 Warp Gates, single Robotics Facility, transferring some probes now to this second Nexus of Vequeth. Income tab seems to be in favor of RedAlert mineral-wise, but in terms of harvesters, Vequeth is still ahead, 42 to 36. What is floating over here? Scouting factory from RedAlert. Looks like he's not going to be building any tanks or anything anytime soon. Oops, I clicked away from the Immortal, my bad. Force of habit, not going to see the goldfish this time. Lots of medevacs here helping out this Bioforce. Unfortunately for RedAlert, he's still got 0 upgrades, and Vequeth should have 1-1 here soon. He's positioning his army to best deal with this. He knows it's coming. Obviously, he had that observer tagging along. Knows that RedAlert was on the move. No Colossi out. Obviously, canceled that Robotics Bay a while ago. These Warpins are going to be killed off incredibly quickly as RedAlert stims up, and here we go. Guardian Shields going up, Force Fields coming down, Immortals blasting away at these Marauders. Quite good out of Vequeth, dropping all those Force Fields, separating that army very, very successfully. And it looks like he is actually going to manage to repel this quite easily with these Immortals. 6 kills, 3 kills, 7 kills among them. Not bad at all. Scouting Factory just hanging out here in case he wanted to shoot some stuff from the low ground, but Vequeth takes another little advantage here. 87 supply for RedAlert, 78 for Vequeth. Should still be ahead on Harvester count. Yes, he is, but RedAlert is gaining on him. These 2 Forges have finished their 1-1 upgrades now, so Vequeth sitting pretty well here despite having a smaller supply base. 82 against 95 on Lost Temple 2 here across positions. Oh, check this out. He broke down the destructible rocks. Now he's going to take this island expansion, perhaps. He hasn't done it yet, but he might. And he's actually checking with his SCV now to get a glimpse if Vequeth has expanded. Of course, he's not going to be able to see anything because he's just an SCV and he's on the low ground. He's not a flying unit, so now he realizes his mistake and sends a Viking to go look instead. Probably pretty good timing since these 2 Immortals are just pounding away on these destructible rocks. Looks like Vequeth does want to take that as his third, and that is a decent difference from Lost Temple 1 to Lost Temple 2. Normally you would see this gold base being taken as a third, but with this wide open middle it can actually be pretty quick, pretty easy to attack this gold base, and this one is a little more inaccessible to your opponent. So looks like this could actually become the norm, having this as your third base. Both players seem like they want to do it here on this game at least. 5 Immortals out, lots of Stalkers and Sentries. Deja vu anyone? On Desert Hills we saw a similar setup, even though RedAlert had the superior numbers. Vequeth had the superior upgrades, and Immortals are just so very good against Marauders and anything with armored unit type. I'm not sure who's going to make the first move here. RedAlert is scouting over the base again with the Scouting Factory. Oh, but here we go. RedAlert is going to stem up before actually getting fully into the position. Immortals rather, not in range to actually shoot at everything yet. They are going to do a few blasts here, kill off some units, but this time it looks like RedAlert actually has the superior forces after that battle goes down. Vequeth going to do a round of Warp-Ins. Not much here standing in the way of RedAlert anymore. It is 125 supply against 72. Vikings overhead, but there are no air units or Colossi to shoot at. Vequeth does GG. He's got basically no army left. Look at the difference there on that army tab, and units lost, both favoring RedAlert there, and Harvesters even. RedAlert was even at least, and that is a good thing as a Terran, as you have the power of mules on your side. But there you go, folks. That was a look at Crystal Forest, Desert Hills, and Lost Temple 2. Thank you very much once again to Vequeth and RedAlert and Broom for participating in these replays so we can get a look at these new public test realm maps that soon all of us might be playing on the regular Battle.net 2.0 ladder. So hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm going to cast some more games from the public test realm. Still have a couple of other maps to explore. If you've got some good replays, you can send them to AskJoshyMail@gmail.com. Make sure you put replay or replays in the subject line, or I probably will lose it among all the messages that YouTube sends me. So once again, AskJoshyMail, all one word, @gmail.com. If you want to submit some replays from the PTR only. I'm not going to look at anything else. Sorry, guys. But hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll see you guys next time.